All right, everyone, with our next guest for a very dramatic and intense interview. One of my favorite teammates to play with. I've played with him for, I guess, 3 seasons. If you include the year where he was an affiliate player, making his mark on the league, an absolute menace to the KI. Can we please welcome Mr. Austin Wooley?
Hey, fellas.
How's it going, Oz?
buddy?
I'm going good. I got the camera set up finally in a good spot, hopefully.
Good,
Good,
man.
good. We're glad. Nice to meet properly.
Oh yeah, I
meet
guess
a
you
little
guys
bit
haven't
here.
met.
We haven't met, but I know him.
Honestly, I feel like I do too.
Yeah.
Oz was saying he remembered playing against you, and he could vividly remember you skating around on the ice and eating pucks and
Yeah.
When was
all
that?
sorts of
When
ice
did we
time.
play against each other?
In provincials when you guys were Nelson.
Oh, no way. Really?
Yeah. You were the
That's
captain,
so
right?
funny. Yeah.
Yeah. So remember that crappy rink?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Worst
We
rink I've
played
ever
you
played
guys
in.
there.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, I think I had 3 in that one.
You guys killed us like 14-0.
No, but then
I
we
wasn't
hung out
playing
with
though.
you at the. Oh, you weren't playing. Okay. Well,
No,
I think we ended up hanging out with you guys at the Nelson Leafs game, and we were like,
did.
yeah, I think we were beefing with some other team. I don't remember who, but
I don't either. But yeah, I remember we were boys. Like I remember Ethan Doctrill, I think his name is, and
you remember Dockrell?
Yeah, he was that's one of the names I remember. And there was another guy we were like boys with.
See, dude, I tell everyone who doesn't know that Dockrell is actually like a legend in BC. Like everyone kind of knows who he is, but doesn't really know him. I feel like he's like it's like he's a made up creature, but no, Ethan Dockrell does exist. And yeah, I'm glad.
Yeah.
I can't believe you remember that name. I'm glad.
Yeah, he's a beauty.
He is a beauty. He's an absolute legend. We're gonna have him on pretty soon too.
Oh, really? That's sweet.
Oh
yeah, he'd be a pretty good guest, definitely. I think.
Yeah, for sure he will. Yeah.
So yeah, I guess we'll just kind of jump into some interview questions for Mr. Austin Wooley. Just kind of I kind of want to obviously we played against each other. You know of Owen, but kind of provide everyone with like how we met and how your time at the Grizzlies came to be, and kind of your story leading up to that.
My story with the Grizzlies. Okay, I got so when my midget third year, it was December. I got a text from my GM saying if I wanted to AP for Revelstoke, and I was like, I didn't really know who you guys were. I didn't really follow Revelstoke that much. I only followed Kimberly because that was sort of my hometown team.
Yeah.
And I texted a coach if I could AP for them, and he said no, which makes sense. But anyways, I got asked for Revelstoke, and I was like, yeah, sure. And I texted Ryan asking if I could get a game in, and he said, yeah, it was a reg season game that I got to play in. Like I didn't know anything about Revy or the arena. Like it was my first time in the rink when I walked in there. And then I met the boys, and it was a pretty sweet start. Like I think we won that game 5-0. Colin Kozine had like 3 goals. I think it was a good game. And like you guys already clinched first in the div or conference, so it was a 0-0 game. So that's why I was playing.
Yeah.
And then I remember Joe was starting, and you talked to me about Thompson and how we sucked, I think. And then
No, I was gonna say, where were you at? You were at you were playing U18, right?
Yeah, major midget, and
yeah. And then how was that?
That was okay. We weren't a good team, but we had fun. Like it was a fun time. My first year in Thompson, that was a fun year. It was minor midget I played because I couldn't play Kootenay because we didn't have a minor midget team here.
Right.
Yeah.
So I moved away to play for Thompson, and that was fun. Like really good group of guys, like really good transition. And then I went to Revelstoke after, and that that was awesome.
Best decision you ever made. So yeah, so you're
Oh,
you were you got called up for that 5-0 win, and then what kind of like
yeah.
what kind of happened after that?
So, yeah, I talked to Ryan after the game. He's like, "Yeah, good game." Like he liked how I played, and then I went home to Cranbrook for a bit. Or no, I went back to Kamloops because we were still playing a bit of games left because we didn't make playoffs, so we had a couple reg season games left. And then I remember texting Ryan. You guys were in the second round against Kamloops. I remember texting him if I could get a game in against Kamloops because I knew a couple guys on the team on the Storm, and he said no, which made sense. It was playoffs, and then like I expected nothing of it. And then I went home to Cranbrook, and then I get a call from Ryan, or call or text. It was third round when you guys were playing Oso. I got a call from Ryan saying, "Hey, do you want to come up with us for the rest of the way here and AP with us and practice and stuff?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, I'll do it." Like it was spring break, I think, so it was perfect timing. So I come up. It was game 4 of the Osoyo series when you guys swept them. The first game watching. That was a sweet game to watch. I remember I was on the camera filming the whole thing because Gallo made me do that as an AP.
Oh yeah, because wasn't he
Brutal.
suspended?
Yeah, I think Gallo was suspended or he was just scratched. I don't know, but yeah,
no,
he made me film the whole
surely
thing
he
as
wasn't
an AP.
scratched.
No,
Yeah, he made you do all the work.
Yeah, it was brutal. And then I remember going out to the team party after. Like I didn't know anybody still. Like I knew Porter, and that was it. Like I didn't know anyone, and it was like I went to the party and it was a fun time, but I didn't feel like I belonged because I just showed up and you guys were headed to the finals. So that happened, and then we were practicing throughout the week and stuff, like, and getting ready for game 1 against Nelson because that happened pretty soon after.
Yeah.
And then so I remember watching those games, getting excited, and then I kind of met the boys, you know. I met Joe and all that.
Gelled in there.
Got more gelled in, yeah. And then we were headed down to Nelson for game 3 and 4. And I remember I drove my own car down there. It's a funny story because my mom wanted to get my grad photos done. And like she planned this out for months and months. Like I couldn't miss it. So I told Ryan, like, "Hey, I just gotta, is it okay if I drive my car down there? Because I got grad photos." And it was like the morning of game 4 that I had the photos done. So
just to paint a picture for Owen, as an AP, like what kind of vibe did RP give off? You know, without spoiling. Yeah.
Like he was intimidating for sure. Like
pretty scary as a head coach, right?
He was a scary dude. Like definitely scared to talk to as a 17-year-old AP. So like I was nervous. And so yeah, I remember asking him, "Hey, like, is it okay?" And he said, "Yeah, sure." So I remember driving my car back, or driving my car to Nelson behind the bus, and getting to Castlegar. And so we got to Castlegar. We played Nelson game 3, and I was watching a scratch, like obviously because I was an AP. And then Revy lost, and then I got on the bus after a loss. RP ripped the boys in the locker room. Like moods were low, and RP was pissed.
I actually remember taking my bag. Do you remember not to jump too far ahead, but do you remember going out to the restaurant after that game?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And remember Didier?
Ordered a beer.
He ordered a pint of beer after we lost.
Like
against Nelson. There's this French trainer that we had. He had no idea. Bless him. He had no idea what was going on. Like it was so funny.
We walked. I remember walking into the room like I was first off the bus. I remember walking in the restaurant, and like they were like, "Wrong place. We only serve winners here." And then I was like, "Oh my god!" And the RP heard that. Like he was right behind me, so Yeah, he was already choked about that, and then Didier ordered a pitcher of beer. So I knew, but going back to me going onto the bus, I remember walking on the bus. It was like one of the first ones on there, and I walked by Ryan, and he's like, "Oz, be ready to go tomorrow." And I was shook. I was like, "No way, I'm playing tomorrow." And like I had the grad photos too, like the next morning. So I was like, "Okay, what am I gonna do? Like, I need these done. My mom needs to get these done." So I remember texting Porter like, "Hey, what do I do?" And then he's like, "Well, you gotta. I don't know if he'll let you." So I remember talking to Ryan. I was like, "Hey, I need to get these done," and he let me somehow. I don't know how he let me. He let me drive home, and I got home at like 3 a.m. from Nelson. 3 a.m, and I had my grad photos at like 9 o'clock in Cranbrook. So I didn't get a really good sleep. I got my grad photos done. And then my dad drove me back to Castlegar, and I warmed up with the boys out at the hotel. And then like I had a meeting with RP. He's like, "How's it going? You ready to go?" And I'm like, yeah, like obviously. And then he's like, "Don't be nervous, you'll make mistakes, but
Don't
just
be
have some fun
nervous.
there." And I'm like,
That was
"Dude,
his
I'm
advice. Don't be nervous.
so nervous." Yeah, like just have some fun. And then I don't know if you told Owen about this, but my warm-up situation.
No, I haven't said anything. He
No,
doesn't know very
you haven't
much.
said anything? Okay, so yeah, I remember getting all ready for the game, like warming up, doing my thing, get onto the ice, getting dialed, like doing my thing, getting ready.
Huge game. 2-1
Big game, like yeah,
series. Like, yeah, this was like a very important game.
monumental
Yeah.
game 4. Monumental. Like I was nervous for sure. So I was warming up, doing my own thing, and I get off the ice, and then one of the older guys on the team, Ronan Push, scary dude if you don't know him. He asked me if I crossed the red line in warm-ups, and I'm like, I don't know. I don't know. I don't think so. And then like he knew I crossed the line, and I was shitting my pants because I didn't know that was a penalty.
Yeah.
So I kind of forgot about it, wasn't thinking of it, and we did the anthem. I was getting all ready on the bench, swaying, and then the ref comes over and he talks to Ryan. Yeah, I was number 11. He's like, "Yeah, number 11 got a warm-up violation. 2 minutes for crossing the red line in game 4 of the final." I was like, no way. As an AP, yeah. No way. So I had to sit in the box for 2 minutes at the start of the game. And I was shaking. And
This
I
pretty
was
much
looking over
cemented
at
Oz's
Ryan.
legacy in Revelstoke to like you become a legend here. Like
Yeah.
it was so fun. It was so funny.
It was not funny at the time. It was funny after the game when we won.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's the stupidest
Like,
fucking rule
about
ever.
this game.
Oh yeah. Yeah. It was bad. I remember I played 13 minutes of the game, and that game went to triple overtime. Triple OT. I was on the door.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, it was pretty good. Yeah, like really good. But I remember I was working the gate the whole time with Ryan Howe. Me and him were both riding the pine, opening the gate.
You and Howie. You and How Cal.
Yeah.
Man, I
Me and
just
Hal
gotta say, I vividly, obviously I was backing up because I was 18 and we had
Yeah.
Weirzy, probably should have been goalie of the year in Revelstoke there. But I was on the bench and there's some of I still vividly remember Keno scoring that goal in triple overtime to win.
No,
But
it was Will.
Or no, Keno
Keno
passing it. Keno passed it like
passed
perfect backdoor pap.
Unreal pass.
But I also remember like one of my first memories with you, Oz, was sitting on the bench with you during that game, you and Howie, because we were basically running 4 defensemen.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
we were like, because I think do we have injuries or suspensions? I don't remember.
I think Gallo, like, I know Juice was injured, Lemmy was injured, Gallo,
Yeah.
something was up with Gallo, I think. Like, we were running low, guys. That's why I got to play.
Yeah. But
And
I
then,
just remember, I vividly remember sitting on the bench with you and Howie, in that rink, in that same rink that we played against each other.
yeah,
Or no, different rink, but same
different rank,
spot.
same
Queen
location.
City.
Yeah.
Same spot that we met long ago. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah, that was sweet. Yeah.
And then
Yeah, I was gonna ask. I mean, I saw that you played the one playoff game and had 2 penalty minutes that year. So I was gonna ask what the penalty was and how you felt, but you already covered that pretty well. I mean, I think that's the amount of times where in the first few games of the season, or when you have an AP, that I mean, I don't know about for you guys, but for us at least, the amount of times that happens for and against us is actually ridiculous. And not once has it.
dude.
Not once has it ever been because of a fight or because someone's crossing the line on purpose. It's always an accident. It's such a ridiculous rule. I don't know why they have it, but it feels pretty good when it works in your favor, at least.
Yeah. Brutal rule. Horrible.
Yeah,
it was heartbreaking a little bit. And then so Oz, were you were obviously were you scratched for the game 5 in Revelstoke?
I was. Yeah.
You were.
Scratched, yeah.
Can you describe the scenes from the bleachers? Do you remember that still or no?
It was like, I can sort of remember it. I remember it being so loud in there, obviously, like fans going crazy. I remember the Nelson Leafs coaches were so rattled because there were signs like up against the back of their, like where they stand, like you're up against them, like signs, get your leaf blowers out, stuff like that. And people like were bringing leaf blowers to the game and all that. And so I remember like it was bumping in there. And yeah, I remember the game. It was sweet. Like down a goal going into the third period, and then seeing Joey Kuchaslo go in net. All the scratch boys were like, "Joe's in net? Like, oh my gosh, let's go!" Like, what happened to Weirzy? But let's go, Joe's in net. And so I remember also filming the third period as well, filming on the camera for Hockey TV. So I did that, and then I got one of the brothers on the team to video the rest, and while the buzzer sounded and we got to go on the ice and celebrate.
Yeah, it was pretty fucking unreal.
I was unreal as an AP.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what was that celebration like for you as an AP? Did you also get to go into the bar after the game, or?
I did. I didn't get into one, but I got into the other.
Okay.
Did we go to two?
Wait, no, sorry, I'm thinking of Cyclone. I didn't. Into the bar. Sorry, I didn't get into the bar, but there was a bunch of other guys, or all the younger guys, who didn't get into it either. Like, I know Jacob Smith got lucky and he got into there. But
because he held the thing up.
Yeah, but me and Carson Ryanson didn't get in. There was a couple guys, so it wasn't like I was alone outside in the street. I remember shotgunning a beer in the room after. Joe, I don't know if you remember.
Oh, man.
So everyone got a beer, and so I remember I got one too. And
just to say before this tells the story, Oz is horrible with drink. Like you said, it messes up your stomach pretty bad, doesn't it?
I'm actually allergic to beer. It's been diagnosed.
Oh my God.
You've been diagnosed? I didn't even know that.
So just a recent diagnosis. Okay. But so I got a beer, and so everyone's shotgunning at the same time, 3, 2, 1. I'm going. I get it down, and then it comes right back up onto the locker room floor, like immediately. Did it get on the logo? It didn't get on the logo, thank goodness, but
good.
It wasn't good. It still wasn't pretty, and I had to clean it up. And I think that's when it got cemented in. That's when Oz, like,
earned
The
his
legacy
stripes
began.
as a
Yeah.
AP.
Yeah.
So, I mean, following that, I mean, that's a pretty crazy experience to have as an AP. What were your next 2 seasons like? I mean, obviously, you won the Cyclone one year and the league as well as the Mowat the other year. So, what were those 2 years like for you?
So going into the first year, my first year, I was still like sort of unsure of where to play, like where I was going to play. Like it was either Kimberley or Revelstoke, because with Kimberley, I could just live at home here in Cranbrook and drive 20 minutes to the rink. So that was a big thing for me, like living at home and living with my parents, because I wasn't able to do that in midget. So that was on my mind. But I couldn't leave Revelstoke after the win, and then after all the boys, like I was like, oh my gosh, it's perfect. And so going into my rookie year in Revy, like I was pumped. I'm going there. Like I was going there, and like I had a good year. It was solid. Like I didn't put up a lot of points, obviously, like defensive D man, not really getting the job done, but I played solid. It was
Good to
good.
have on. I loved having you on the ice, Oz. Come on.
Yeah, no, it was lots of fun being on the ice. But playing in Revy the first year was unreal, just because of all the fans, and like living there was sweet. The snow, just everything about it was awesome. Like ridiculous for a first year. I was like so happy I made the choice to go to Revy and not Kimbo. Just because like the fans definitely stood out the most to me. Like preseason games are still crazy, I'd say, compared to like Summerland's games, stuff like that.
What I was gonna say, Kimbo gets fans too, though.
They do, but some, like, it just their barn is a bit bigger, and it's just not as loud and
Not as loud.
crazy.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
So I mean, then
like,
sorry, go ahead.
No, you go ahead. It's all good.
Well, I was gonna say, so I mean, you play for Revelstoke for 2 years, you win the first year, and then the Mowat Cup is in Kimberley, where you grew up watching the team. What was that experience like for you playing for Revelstoke in Kimberley, where you were considering playing?
That was awesome. Like I remember in 2019 when Revy and Kimbo were in the finals against each other. I remember cheering for Kimberley, because I had some buddies on the team. So I remember watching the game where Revy won, and like, oh, this place looks horrible. Like, come on, like, go Kimbo. And so fast forward into playing in Mowat, like it was unbelievable playing in the home crowd, sort of. Like I grew up playing in that rink, and it was I got hurt, so I wasn't able to play against Kimberley in the Kimberley game, which kind of sucked. It was bitter, but I played the next game in Kimbo, and it was sweet playing and winning. Like, that's unbelievable experience.
No, that's great. I mean, I couldn't imagine having an experience like that. That sounds unreal. Another thing I just wanted to quickly. This is honestly the only other thing I really have. But Joe was telling me you're a shutdown D man, but I mean, you're 6 goals this year, half a point per game player. I mean, that's a shutdown to me. Your production took a bit of a step.
Oz, can you? Yeah, I'm gonna second that. Can you describe some of the goals that you scored this year?
Oh my gosh!
Do you remember the first goal you scored this year?
Yeah,
I had a perfect view of it.
The against Chase.
Yeah, it was like
So first goal this year, it was third game of the season. Brady Ago wins the puck back to me. I get it on my stick. I have a clear shooting lane to the net. Like, no one screening, no one in front. I bounce it off the goalie's chest. I hit his chest. It bumps over his shoulder and into the net. So that was the first goal. And then the other ones weren't pretty either. Like, I had one pretty goal, and that was against Princeton at game.
Oh my God, that was
game
huge.
4 against Princeton. Yeah. It was
nice
3 minutes left. Yeah, it was 3 minutes left in the game 4. We were down 2-1, and I got the puck from Colton McLeod at the point, and it like wasn't a fast shot. I would like the goalie probably should have saved it, but it went bar down and tie it 2-2. And then 1 minute later, Luke Aston scores to make it 3-2, and we won the game, which was unbelievable.
I actually remember that goal. The noise that it was like, it wasn't that because we're losing, obviously. Like when we lose, like people get nervous and it starts to get a little more quiet.
Yeah.
Like when you heard like the ping of Oz's shot go off the bar and go straight down, it was like silent, and then you heard the bar, and then the place just fucking exploded.
It one of the best goals I've ever scored, I think.
It was pretty sick.
Yeah.
There was one. This is the only other one that I remember. Is there was one where you were right in front and you like tipped it between your legs. Do you remember that goal?
Oh yeah, I do.
You were in front?
So yeah,
it was actually a skill goal, man. It was so nice.
I remember. Oh, this goal, I was pissed before this goal because we were up. I think we were up by 2, and then I think we scored to get it up by 2, and then one of my teammates took a penalty when we were selling for that goal, and then so he got a penalty, and the Kamloops scored a goal to make it a 1-goal lead for us. And then when our teammate came back to the bench, I ripped him. I was like, "What are you doing?" Like that was so stupid. Like it was. Yeah. I don't know why I ripped him. I do that sometimes. It's not that. We're still buddies. And Kamloops scores again to tie it up. And so I get out there next shift, and I'm buzzing. I'm so pissed. Like we were winning the game, now we're tied. And so I remember taking the puck and dumping it, and the goalie got it, and he rimmed it up to our D-man. And I was in the corner, and then I went in front of the net, and then our D-man shot it, and I tipped it in between the legs, and it went glove side just past P-Dubs for a goal. And
that
so
was
I was awesome.
Too, right?
Yeah, that was loud.
You had a couple of big playoff goals, man. It was good.
Yeah.
That doesn't sound too bad to me. I mean, overall, Joe, I don't have much else. Do you have a little bit more here?
I don't know if I have much else to talk about. I mean, Oz, it's been an honor to interview you and get your perspective on a lot of other stories that we've touched on the pod, and get it from your point of view as an affiliate player there. That was pretty funny.
Absolutely.
Yeah, thanks for having me on, boys. I listen to your podcast while I'm working. I have a shovel in my hands, just digging away, and I'm listening to
Me and Owen do landscaping too.
Yeah.
Do you? Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that sucks.
It's a grind, but I like it.
Yeah, that's good. Are you good doing like irrigation and stuff? Like
yeah. Did some of that last week.
Oh yeah, nice.
Yeah, it's good stuff. Yeah. No,
we got a big excavator, so it's good, man.
Thanks for joining, buddy. I know you're in a whole different time zone over there, so we really appreciate it.
Oh yeah, it's my bedtime soon. I gotta wake up at 4:40.
Oz, can we we're not gonna see you in a Revelstoke Grizzlies jersey next year, are we?
I don't think so. Unless something changes dramatically, but I think I'm done.
Okay.
I wish I could.
Well, regardless, it was great to hear your perspective on everything. I mean, you had a lot of your stories stories Joe told me and stories that Smithy told on the pod already really aligned. So it's great to hear about that, what it's like, to play in a place like Revelstoke and your experience there. So thanks a ton for coming on. Yeah,
thanks for having me on, boys.
Oz, man, congrats on a great career. If we don't see you on the ice again, it has been an honor to played with you and stuff, and I really enjoyed my 3 years with you, bud.
Yeah, thank you, Joe. I can't wait for New Year's Eve.
Dude, I'm pumped, man. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
All right, man.
Yeah, awesome.
Appreciate it, Oz. Thanks for coming on, man.